Professor RooshiKumar Pandya is my guest here on We Connect today. He's considered one of our country's finest trainers, and so it really is my pleasure to have him on our show, and I hope that you're learning by watching him and listening to him. So thank you very much.
It's
a
a
question
pleasure.
that's always been at the back of my mind.
Ji.
Why do all of us Indians do so very well when we go overseas? How come the same people might not be as disciplined here, or might not do as well? What is our problem?
Because it's accepted here, that behavior. Nobody
That's
does
bad.
anything. There is not accepted. You throw something on the street, you're fine, you realize that. Here,
Yeah.
bola kitna paisa lega, how much would you charge, you know, so then you get away with
Kisko
things.
denge ya paise?
Right, that's right.
Yeah, right.
So you
okay.
get away with it, you know.
Okay. So can you actually teach somebody, as part of your training courses and
Yes.
the many programs that you hold, can you actually teach somebody not to do things like this?
To an extent, but when the entire system and that culture is like that, then it influences people and their behavior.
Right. So how do we change the culture? I mean, what do we do? You have been for years working with the Indian culture,
Right.
Indian, ethos. And how do we change this culture?
No, part of that is that certain things cannot be changed in a given culture. That's not to say these are habits. The habits can be changed by having a sanction. You know that every time somebody throws something or something happens, you lock him up. They know that if this is going to work and you cannot get away by doing this, then people will learn. They go to other countries, they learn because they know they cannot get away with it. Here,
Right.
people can get away with it. Whom do you know? How much money is going to change hands? There are all ways of manipulating the system. When you cannot manipulate the system, then you will by force learn things.
Right.
So that's the completely different things.
Right. Are we coming back to that magical word and that horrible word that I hate called corruption then?
Yeah.
Is that really the underlying problem?
One of them.
You,
One of them.
You think so?
Definitely.
You
Definitely.
don't believe that we can really be doing much about it. We do have some people
It's at
trying.
every level, right from top to bottom. That's the problem.
So are we just going to sit back and take it?
No, it's changing. The people are becoming more aware. There are things happening at some level. People are getting locked up. You know, the things are happening.
Right.
You know.
You've been involved in all sorts of things. I mean, stress.
That sounds ominous.
Indeed, it does, but
Yes.
I don't quite mean it like that. You've done a lot of work with stress management,
Yes.
and I want to talk about that now because
Sure.
whose life is not stress-laden at the
Yeah.
moment?
Right.
So tell me about what you do in this area.
What I deal with three major questions in stress management. One, what is stress? Two, what does it do to us? And three, what can we do about it? Basically, we can do a lot of things about keeping ourselves healthy. I'm 73 with no medical problem, no disease, blood
Bless
pressure
you.
120 over
Good
80.
for you.
Thank God. I'm on borrowed time as far as Indian, average age is concerned. But doing well. The point is, health is free. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to go to gym and pay 70,000 rupees or lakh of rupees to be healthy. You can do it in this much room, in this much area and be absolutely healthy. There are certain habits that you cultivate. You sleep well, you eat well, you eat nutritious diet, you do exercise. Doesn't require much. 15 minutes a day, just walking will help you. And drinking enough water, avoiding smoking, avoiding excessive liquor,
Right.
and all these simplest things, and you can be healthy. And learn to say no when things are offered, when you don't need them. See, human beings are probably the only animals in the entire kingdom who eat when they are not hungry. And this is a learned behavior. When a child is sucking on mother's breast, the moment the child's stomach is full, it turns the face away.
That's right.
And then later he's taught, people are dying of hunger in such and such country, and people are dying. Why don't you eat? As if his overeating is going to cure the problem over there.
True, okay.
So we teach them. We teach them to overeat. We take more care of our inanimate belongings than our body, which is full of life. And that's the problem.
That's very valid.
Yeah.
Stress by itself, are we now in India coming up to this level? We think about the rest of the world being all stressed out, but we are not so far behind, are we?
We have a lot of stress, a lot of it, yes.
So how does one get over that? How do you tell me to not be stressed out?
Several things I say you need to do. You need to recognize, first of all, as a stress. We are most of the time in denial that nothing can happen to me. I was going from Mumbai to Nasik to do a course on stress management. There are people sitting, and they asked me, what do you do? I say, stress management. Goes, oh, we discovered yoga, and this is what the legs are doing. The entire train was shaking because everybody was doing this. And this is one way Indians discharge stress, this additional energy which is not channelized. you know. So these are the habits which we have cultivated and which are nervous habits, or we call them tics. But we don't recognize them. We are in denial. I had a friend who was chain smoker, lost his temper very, very fast, and I said, "You got a problem." "Me? No problem." He lit another cigarette.
That's the
week later,
indication.
the guy had a heart attack. So I go and see him in the hospital. I said, "What's the matter?" He said, "Nothing, no problem." He had a heart attack. He doesn't even accept that he had a heart attack. So we are in denial.
But having said that, I have to disagree with you, because we as Indians are proverbially seen as people who accept whatever's happening. You know, it's our karma, it's okay, you know, it's happening to us, it doesn't matter, you know, it's okay. So then how can you say this then?
Because I say this because that's my experience. We believe that that's what is happening, but in reality, if you go to any doctor or any psychologist, you'll find out what's happening here.
Yeah.
You know, and how many people are suffering. There is a taboo against going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist also.
Agree with that.
So
yes.
we suffer. You know, if somebody is insane, they get him married before people find out.
Unfair.
Yeah.
That's really
So
bad.
two families are ruined.
Right, that's true. Now you spent a major portion of your life outside of India, you know, and
Yes.
then of course you decided to come back, etc. When you look at the way you lived in the West,
Yeah.
and the way you live now, and the way most of us live now in India, I'm just looking at the parallels here.
See?
You know, did you find that people there were really keen on being less stressed out, and the way we are now, we are paying so much attention suddenly to de-stressing ourselves, doing other things? What is the comparison you can draw for me?
They are more aware of health than we are, for sure, because there's more information. Now that information is coming here also. But the information itself does not do anything. You know, you need to take action, and people don't take action. People don't have the discipline to do this on a day-to-day basis, and that's the problem.
Right.
And that applies to everything.
Right. I understand that you
Yeah.
also deal with self-hypnosis.
Yes.
And I'd like to draw you out on that.
Yeah, sure. Basically, it's a relaxation technique when you suggest to yourself whatever you want to suggest, possibly positive things that, like Muhammad Ali, when the world heavyweight champion and legend in boxing, before he, came for any match, he just psyched himself. "I'm the greatest. Yeah, man, I'm the greatest." He did the shuffle and kept on saying to himself. 10 minutes he kept on saying to himself. And today I'm told in Microsoft office in Seattle, executives do the same thing. They get up and say, "I'm the greatest." That's a self-hypnotic auto-suggestion.
It works.
Yeah, it works.
Have you tried it yourself
Yes,
many
definitely.
times?
In 73, I'm here.
Well, is it because of that?
Absolutely.
Sure, is it because of that?
Yeah.
Really? When you suggest this
Huh.
to the people you train, and
Yeah.
you've been training for so many years, are they receptive to something like this? Because these are very new things. I mean, in India, we never really try to give our child the confidence to say,
Yeah.
"You can do it, go ahead and do
Right.
it," and stuff like that, We are self-effacing.
Yeah.
Would you not say that?
Yeah, we are self-effacing, yes. You're right, we are self-effacing. But what I tell them that when I was a kid, 11 years old, my aunt, when I said something very negative, so my aunt, she was very religious. She said, "Baba," little baby
Yes,
in Gujarati.
yeah.
He said, "Don't say things like that." I said, "Why not?" She said, "There are 33 crore gods and goddesses saying tathastu, so be it, so be it. If you say this will happen." And I suddenly realized that 33 crores against me, what chance have I got?
I might as well not say it.
Then I realized that all they are saying is tathastu, so be it. So if I say positive things, they too will happen. And I've been saying them since.
Right, and obviously very successfully.
They're working.
Right, I can see that. Now, a lot of people here,
Huh.
when we see somebody who exudes a level of body language, a confidence
Yeah.
in their manner of speaking, in their manner of behavior, we sometimes try to and sometimes tend to label that as arrogance.
Yeah, possible.
And I'm just thinking that, is that not something that becomes negative for that person? Because if I think that Professor Pandya came in and I think he's arrogant, not a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing, but I don't believe that I'm arrogant, that I know
No, of
what I am.
course not.
Therefore, I wouldn't accept that,
Right. I was using you as an example, of
Yeah,
course, as you
right.
well know. Time for us to take another very short break. And we'll go away for just a very short while here on We Connect, and we'll get right back with you.